What seemed to be a happy family turned into one of the biggest crimes to have ever existed. In 1998, a young Alyssa Wise gave her infant daughter, Katie, up for adoption. She hoped to give her child a better life. The reasons were quite unsure till the worst happened. Allegedly, Alyssa Wise's husband, Steven Pladl, had done really bad things with his own daughter, and Alyssa thought it was best to give her daughter up, to be raised far from her father after that happened. Alyssa said, "I was so young, I didn't know how to care for her. I wanted her to have a stable home." Katie grew up with her adoptive parents, Anthony and Kelly Fusco, in New York. But as she approached adulthood, she began searching for her biological parents. At that time, Alyssa had 2 more children with her husband, Steven. Katie said she had always wondered about her biological family. So she wanted to know where she came from. On August 2016, Katie reunited with her biological parents, Steven and Alyssa Pladl, thanks to social media. But what started as a joyful reunion soon took a dark turn. Alyssa said, "She was happy to see my daughter again, but she soon realized that Steven's behavior was not right." According to reports, Alyssa, Katie's mother, was aware of the close relationship between Katie and Steven. Initially, Alyssa reportedly supported the relationship, with some sources suggesting she even encouraged it, despite what Steven had done to Katie when she was an infant. But soon she realized it was more than just a reunion to overlook. As the relationship progressed, Alyssa became increasingly concerned and eventually realized the gravity of the situation. Steven, who was 42 years old at this time, began to sleep in his daughter's room, Katie, who was 20 years old. When his wife confronted him about his behavior, he shut her up. Soon, Alyssa moved out and allegedly separated from Steven shortly after the reunion, citing his controlling behavior. But this only made Steven and his daughter, Katie, grow closer, despite the warnings from Alyssa and others. Katie said she thought she had found a father figure, someone who cared about her. But their relationship soon became incestuous. They began a romantic relationship, despite being biologically related. Steven asked his children to call their sister, Katie, mother. Allegedly, he told them she was their stepmother and not their sister. Late the same year, Steven and his daughter, Katie, began their romantic relationship officially. Katie's adopted parents had no idea that the man their daughter had introduced as her boyfriend was actually her biological father. In November 2016, Steven and his wife were now legally separated. The wife told police that her husband had been sleeping in their daughter's room and suspected a relationship between them. The wife also said she learned Katie was pregnant and Steven was the father in May 2017 when she read a journal entry written by one of her other children. Steven reportedly admitted to being the father and told his estranged wife he and Katie wanted to get married. Katie announced their marriage in July. Allegations: Alyssa informed the police of his intention. However, they weren't fast enough. In 2017, allegedly, Steven tied the knot in secret with his daughter, Katie, since she was pregnant with his baby. Katie's adoptive parents were present and had no idea Katie was marrying her own father. Katie posted an Instagram photo in July stating that she and Steven had gotten married, although they legally cannot do so. On September 2017, Katie gave birth to a baby boy, Bennett. A warrant of their arrest was issued on November 2017, and they were charged with incest with adultery, contributing to delinquency. They were arrested at their Nightdale home in January 2018. Police said at some point after May 2017, Katie and Steven moved to Wake County, North Carolina together. Authorities said when they were arrested a baby boy was with them. Warrants revealed the baby was born in September 2017. Steven was bonded out of jail, but Katie remains behind bars for a while before being released on bond. Allegedly, Bennett was placed in Steven's mother's custody. Their actions were illegal and morally wrong. Steven bond conditions demanded him to stay away from his daughter. Not until the tragic events of April 2018. Katie moved back to her adoptive parents' home. She no longer wanted to violate the law nor continue with the relationship. So she broke up with her father over the phone. But Steven didn't take this lightly. In April 2018, Steven allegedly kidnapped Bennett from his mother, saying he was taking him to see his mother, Katie. The reports indicate that Katie was in New York, specifically in the town of Dover, when Steven kidnapped their son Bennett. Steven traveled to New York, where the tragic events unfolded. On April 12, 2018, Katie and her stepfather, Anthony Fusco, traveled from Dover, New York, to Waterbury, Connecticut, to visit Katie's grandmother. Knowing this was a routine for her, Steven traveled to Dover and followed Katie in Anthony's car, and murdered them with his rifle. He then called his mother and told her that he had murdered Katie and Anthony. His mother called police and informed them. Bystanders reported shots being fired in New Milford, and police discovered Katie and Anthony's bodies in their car. But where was Steven? Steven's car was found in Dover, New York, but he was found lifeless in his car. Apparently, he had committed suicide. But his son Bennett was not with him. Police traced where he was staying and discovered his son, Bennett, in the apartment, but he was already murdered. Allegedly, on April 11, 2018, Steven murdered his 7-month-old child Bennett at his home. Bennett is believed to have died by suffocation. The 3 victims were buried in St. Charles Cemetery, Dover Plains, New York.